NFL Draft Bible on location.
Just going to see who's bobbing their head and who's not. Appreciate everybody coming. Obviously, this is we're in a happier state than we were last week. Really proud of our team over the last 8 days. Some real key leadership. Really hard week. I mean, we were not a fresh team out there today. We worked this week, but I thought you saw a team hopefully that played with a lot of energy, a lot of juice, and did enough to win the football game. And to get a shutout on defense is always special. A lot of credit to Stony Brook. I mean, they're a good football team. I watched the way they played against North Dakota last week, but I thought we did a great job as a team tonight. And really the MVP, I know people have different storylines. I thought the MVP for us tonight was Alex Starzyk. I mean, backed up, he's bombing them. He put 2 balls down at the 1 yard line. And we made a decision as a staff going into this game that we were going to try to play field position defense, see if we could make them make mistakes, get the ball, and capitalize. So I thought the special teams helped the defense. The defense got the ball. I thought the offense was efficient at times, had some big plays. Had I believe just the 1 turnover. But I thought we did some good things. We have a long way to go. We're not protecting our quarterback at the level we need to. I had a lot of my older guys in there just say to me just now, Coach, I didn't play very well. And as I said to them, enjoy the win. Let's get back to work. Let's be honest with ourselves as we move forward. So, with that, I'll take any questions you have.
I know you talked about what you saw in practice this week, but just with the embarrassment that you guys saw last week, just early on coming up this week for practice, how motivated and determined did you really set your guys?
Well, I just think, again, I think the storyline for me was I was probably maybe a little bit more embarrassed after the game until I watched the tape. And when I watched the tape, I thought I saw a lot of tremendous individual efforts. What I didn't see was a team that played as a team. I saw a bunch of guys that really, were still playing with a lot of pressure on their back. When things got tight, we weren't, in the moment flying around. And so that was a challenge this week. It was we had a ping pong tournament on Wednesday, literally an all-day tournament throughout classes. And as I said to them, guys get down to ping pong, they don't start standing around. They're down 17-14. I can't believe it. That's what we did in the game. So my challenge to this team, and their challenge themselves, was to go play, to be competitors, to play, no matter what. And I thought, seeing the young kids, we had every kid on the roster today, except for maybe one long snapper. Every kid that was not redshirting played in the football game. I'm talking about kids that weren't even at camp, that joined the team a week ago, that were on the team in the spring. They all played in the game. So that was a team I thought that really played and competed and had fun today. That's the team we have to be.
Can you talk about the start you guys had today?
I don't know if I remember that far back. I hate that. So what do we? I don't remember. I'm sorry. I hate to say that. We kicked off to start. We took the ball.
Yeah.
I think Trayvon had a good return. Yeah, we got the ball moving. It's 2nd and 2, and I think Glenn was trying to be aggressive today. Normally on 2nd and 2, we run the ball and we're going to try to get a first down, but he took a couple shots. We punted, got the stop, got the ball back, went down and scored. And I just think just kept pinning them back down. And that's why we went for it on the 4th and 4. With the mindset of if they do, we're going to be an aggressive 4th down team. We think this year. Just feeling like even if we don't make it, if we don't convert 4th downs, at least they're going to have the ball down in their own possession. They can't pick the ball off the next play. But I just think that they fed off each other a lot early. And I think, as we move forward, can we feed off each other for 60 minutes? It'll be interesting.
Last week you talked about a lack of leadership. Who really stepped up as leaders today?
To me, it's easy. The games are hard. I thought for me this week was Avery Williams. Avery Williams, I thought from the locker room to the locker room just now was Avery Williams, and a lot of other guys, but Avery was the guy. I think Leon Johnson, was a guy that spoke last week and spoke again today. I think Phillip's always like that. So, I think one of the stories, we had a lot of guys out. We had Ventel out, we had Colin out, we had Jihad out, we had Jacob Martin out. It was the first time we've ever had 3 single-digit players out in one game. And that's kind of what happens when you play Army. You're going to get a little bit beat up. And I was really proud of a lot of guys stepped up, and then they allowed themselves to be led by guys like Avery Williams.
Did you decide pretty early that you put a lot of those young kids right in first quarter? They were getting the ball, they were freshmen that you talked about that didn't play this week. Was that
I think it was coming out of last game. We were disappointed about that, and and part of it was the game last week. It was just getting 3 drives, 4 drives, and never getting the ball. But another part of it was just the heat today. We knew the heat was going to be intense, and this week we went out Monday and we just live scrimmaged, and a lot of guys stepped up. So I think you can see what Isaiah Wright. Hopefully you saw a glimpse of what I've been talking about. He got a chance, right, and some other guys. So we played them, just put them all in and played them, and said, let's see what happens. And then now we can go back and watch the tape and see who's really out there, who's not. We put Trayvon back deep to not many people put a redshirt freshman walk on, kid out there, kids on scholarship back there. We said, he's the guy. Let's put him out there. And he took the opening kickoff back, whatever it was, 30 yards, 40 yards. So. Yeah, we just said, forget it. Let's just put the kids out there and see what happens, especially in this heat. Rotate a ton of guys, and a lot of guys play. A lot of true freshmen played today. I think probably 7 or 8. I'm not going to remember.
What was trying to find a comfort level with the receiving core? A lot of these guys are new, or at least
Yeah, they got to catch the ball. That's the biggest thing for me. They got to run the routes and catch the ball. We are not doing that at a very high level, and we're not protecting the quarterback as well as we should. And it's a shame. That's the one area right now that better get fixed really quickly. Played great defense. We got to convert on third down. And he's back there running for his life, and the guys aren't catching the ball. I thought it was a great job by Broderick on the touchdown where he broke in and broke back out on the scramble drill. But our quarterback shouldn't even have to get out of the pocket. He should be able to sit in the pocket and deliver balls. And so that's what this game will do for us. It will show us what we're not doing well, and hopefully we can correct it.
We're just out of bounds.
Who won the ping pong tournament? I'm extremely bitter about that right now, so I'm not going to.
Losing the finals.
No, I lost in Kevin DeCesar, who's a redshirt freshman linebacker, was in the finals against a guy that works for us now, who put himself in the tournament. He wasn't even there for camp. I'm not even talking.
Did you do that just as a loosening up thing?
Well, we practiced on Sunday, which we never do. We practiced on Monday. We practiced on Tuesday, and so we had to give him a day off. So we decided to give it to him on Wednesday. So we just, gave him the day, and we said, hey, we've been playing a ton of ping pong like during camp. My thing is the kids nowadays, we have a hard time. Why can't you kick your off? Because they're playing video games, right? And so, you play ping pong, you start to see who has amazing eye-hand coordination. So we just kind of grown on the team where guys are playing. So we said, we put up a whole bracket and just kind of played. And anybody that was around, the guys would come back at night. Literally, I was in the facility on Wednesday night on their off day, and it's like I walk in the room and there's 2 ping pong tables going. There's probably 60 kids in there, and they're hanging out together. And that to me is what we're trying to build. We're trying to get. We've had it built, but you start winning, and then also there's some pressure on you, and then you start being real tight. We wanted to get back to being kids and having fun.
That seems like real early in the game, you guys were taking some chances downfield, opening things up. But Simpson had the big end around that went for a big play. Looked like Ellick, he dropped the screen, but that had an opportunity to maybe go for a big play. Was the plan early to just try and open things up and get some big plays early?
And we were calling them at the end too. The last play that they put the varsity in, and I think he threw the ball away, but we caught a lot more shots. We didn't protect very well. I don't know if we got open great. We hit the deep. We tried to throw the deep ball. They covered it, and PJ did a great job and hit Roman on the over. But we were planning on being that. And I think the first game, if you watch the film, we ran the ball really well. We just never took. Every time we called a shot, we false start. To be quite honest with you, and so this game was, let's get the balls called. Let's get the shots called. Even if we don't throw it deep, if they cover the deep one, we'll hit the intermediate one. And I think that's who we're going to try to be as a team. Run a team that can run the ball and hit the over routes.
When it was 14-0, you brought Jones up to kick the field goal, and you stopped it, you went the offense back up. What was the decision?
Well, they false started to put it at 4th and 4. Because I originally was going to go for it. So we tried to run the ball like we did later in the game. Try to run the ball, go 2 downs, and run the ball, get to 4th and 2, and go for it. I wanted it because I felt like we could pin them deep if they don't get it. We ran the ball, we got -2. PJ pulled it, didn't get any yards, so we decided to kick it. They false started, put it 4th and 4, and we went for it. And really, Marshall did a great job. It was open, we just weren't able to hit it. So, but I just felt like with this team, they needed to feel some aggressiveness, and they needed to feel some, we're going to try to go for it. We're going to be aggressive. We're not going to play tight anymore. And I also felt like as long as the ball was on their side of the 40, we had a pin back there. Our defense was playing pretty well, and we're going to give up any big plays.
What's the status of Jihad for this upcoming week for Penn State?
I hope they'll be ready to go. I hope so. We'll see.
Any update about the other injured players?
They're all kind of Ventel's out for a while. Jacob Martin, maybe this week. Colin Thompson, maybe. I doubt it. Kareem Ali went down out there in a pretty gruesome injury out when I walked out there. I don't know how long he'll be out. I would doubt he'd be here back anytime soon. So I'm not sure what it is. At first, he thought it was a complete fracture, and then they thought maybe dislocated. So I don't know. I was a cuff kid, and he just looked at me. The coach looked at my arm. I threw up. So he's tough. But so I don't know how long he'll be.
Do you plan on using Isaiah Wright as that hybrid running back, wide receiver going forward, or do you think you see him one?
I don't know. It kind of depends on Jihad. It kind of depends on, I thought Jagger ran the ball well. Hoods had some. We have a bunch of guys who can run the football, right? So I think it just kind of depends on who's healthy and who's not. If Intel's out, and the status of some other guys. We tried to get Cottrell in there today. Broderick caught a touchdown. So we tried to play a couple more guys at receiver. We played 2 true freshmen in Randall and Freddie Johnson. While they didn't catch a ball, they were out there running around. So.
When was the last time you had a player who legitimately lined up at running back and at wide receiver in the same game like that, like Isaiah did?
Like Joe Jones. I think Joe Jones. This kid kind of reminds me of Joe. I think the key thing to me is that Isaiah Wright's a true freshman. He's been here, and he's learned everything. So And I'm not going to say he's learned everything great. He has a ways to go in the protections and all that, but he's a football guy. He likes to play football.
Logan saw sometime before Frank at quarterback. Have you seen Frank take instead of stepping back since training camp? Or any preference between the two
No.
stepping first?
No, I just think they've both been kind of hot and cold, both too good. We think they both have great futures. So he just said, I was hoping to get a few more series and just alternate them each series, you know. And weren't able to do that. Went 3 and out, and the ball was down at the 1 yard line. But Logan's never gotten in a game before. Frank at least played a couple games last year, so we want to make sure all our quarterbacks have been in the game, at least throw a pass in a game before you have to all of a sudden handle the ball, with 80 yards to go in the middle of a 2-minute drive to win it.
Matt, you said before the season that linebacker was one of the positions you had the most confidence in. What did you see from it? Seemed like Quenku was really making some plays. Chappelle had the forced fumble on the kickoff, and folks got out there. So what do you like about some of those other linebackers?
Yeah, I think they've been good. I think we wrote, we put Chappelle in the second series and Folks in the third series. I don't know when Atoki went in second, third, or fourth. They all played on special teams. Quenku had some big hits. I mean, they're good players. We have, we put Kevin DeCeasar in there. We put I think we played like 9 linebackers today. So we have some depth there. They're all a little bit young, but we were trying to play them on defense, knowing that Steph, Avery, and Jared only play so long. So Chappelle's probably the first guy to go in with those other guys. But it looked like they all played really physical football, which was great to see. Yeah, thank you for noticing that. That's awesome. We played Boozer. I forgot completion. Boozer played tight end today. So we just with Colin out and rotating Jake O'Donnell and Myrick. But we do so much 2 and 3 tight ends. Boozer played tight end for the first 3 quarters, and then went over and played offensive tackle. Thank you for reminding me.
What's the game to go up there next week, and what do you expect that to be like? Go to Penn State next week. What will that be like? What's it mean for you guys and for you personally?
Well, it's different for me because my parents sold their house up there and moved to Philly now. So it used to be I could go up there and my mom would cook for me. We'd drop the girls off, and Julie and I would hang out. But they're here now, so it's a great place to play. It's always a significant challenge to deal with the noise there. I don't even know. I don't know if they won or lost. I didn't see the score today, so I haven't seen anything. But obviously they're a tremendous team, a Big Ten team, and it's always a challenge, to play them, and especially to play there. So, but I'm going to go hang out and take my wife to Adele tonight and get ready to get started tomorrow.
Knowing you talk about what happened last year, and now you have a totally different team from last year, but the guys that didn't play in last year's game, how much is it just creating your new identity for those players?
I'm so sorry.
So with what happened last year with Penn State, a lot of the guys on your team right now didn't necessarily play in that game last year. How much is it for those guys to just really create their own identity and not get caught up in what happened in last year's result?
Yeah, I think as much as anything, it's about going there and the atmosphere and the sound. I mean, it's two different things, right? Playing them here is one thing. Playing them there, it is so loud. I mean, last year we couldn't even hear on the headset, couldn't even hear the play call down to get the headset 2 years ago. So I think it's having the poise, and the noise to handle all that. I think that would be one thing. So yeah, we're playing them. I mean, this is a bunch of young puppies. I mean, there's some old guys out there. But, I mean, everything's new. Everything's new, and so just trying to teach them everything day by day. So right now I'm worried about how they handle the win tonight. Make sure that they do everything right tonight and get in here tomorrow and make sure that they check in with the trainer, and then we'll get started on Penn State with the team on Monday and with us obviously as coaches tomorrow.
What are the protection
Kirkland today?
I'm sorry.
What stood out to you about Keith Kirkland today?
Well, I thought that catch on the sideline was as good a catch as I've seen. I thought it was just a tremendous effort. Other than that, without seeing the film, I just thought he flew around. He played hard. He's a big, physical guy. But I thought that catch on the sideline was special.
What was this week like with the concussion protocol?
He wasn't able to do anything. This was the first day he was able to really put on full pads. And, he went out in a helmet on Thursday and caught balls and walked through yesterday. So, which is why he didn't start. Why Donna started, and then Cortrell played. And then, but we knew we were going to play him. So.
Matt, what are the protection issues?
Make Jihad's injury more manageable?
Does having other backs make his injury more? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, obviously, anytime you have an injury, you'd like to have other guys that can go in there and play. And Rockwell had, I think, 77 last week, and then I think we felt like we had 4 backs today that could go in and run the football. And Trayvon being the 5th, and him returning kicks. I mean, that really helps. Those guys can all do a lot of things. So, obviously, we're excited whenever we get Jihad back. If it's this week, great. If not, we're excited to have Jihad. But I think those other guys have performed admirably instead.
Matt, where are the protection issues coming from on the offensive line?
I don't know. I'd love to give you a better answer. I don't know. One was I could see at the end of the half that on the Hail Mary, they just beat our back, which it wasn't the offensive line. One was just like gap protection, which 5 of us should be able to go out there and pick up with, and we just got split. So I don't know if it was effort, and I hate to say things without seeing it, you know. I mean, obviously, I take tremendous pride in the offensive line play here, and it was a lot better than last week. We ran the ball, you know, but it wasn't, protection still has to get better.
How would you say how Phillips played today?
I don't know. Without seeing the film, I thought the thing that I liked was like he stood in there and made some big throws. I mean, like he hit that one ball down to the 4-yard line. He could have waited another second, maybe thrown a touchdown, and just, you know, Tobo was there. So, you know, it's really hard if guys don't catch. Like, you know, it's another pick. Now it's a drop ball pick. I mean, guys are all saying, you know, we're going to get our receiving core to the point where they're like, the ball's in the air, I'm going to get it. It's my ball. And I think once we do that, you know, Phillips' numbers will go way, way, way up.
On Tuesday, you said not only the players, but the coaching staff needs to get a little more energy on the sidelines. Did you feel that you guys were, you know, up to par when it comes to energy, or
Absolutely.
was it still just, you know,
No, it was
just take care
awesome.
of business?
That's why I'm cramping. I'm sorry, I'm sitting here, I'm cramping up right now. Like, I thought we had juice and we had energy and we were flying around, and I thought the kids that weren't dressed had a lot of energy, and I thought we had it in the locker room and in the game. And, you know, when it's that hot out, and it was pretty hot, when it's that hot out, you know, a lot of guys can just kind of stand around, but I thought we had energy, and it's great to have the young guys go in and all of our older guys go out there at the end and want to play, you know, want to make sure, all our old guys want to make sure they want to keep the shutout. You know, I think anytime you get a shutout, it's a big deal. So.
Coach, how big was it for Yancey to get his first TD and Randall his first interception? Speaking of young guys.
I didn't even realize I was the first of those guys, but you know, it was good, you know, it's good for Delvin. I think even Benny probably got his first one at the end, right? So, you know, I'm sure those are special moments for him, and I think Delvin was really challenged coming out of it last week, so I'm sure he, you know, enjoyed, you know, having that opportunity. And then Broderick's a guy, you know, played as a true freshman, was hurt most of last year. We redshirted him, so to get him back out there for us and get him, you know, kind of coming off last week, that tip ball probably bothered him all week. I thought he practiced hard, and for him to, you know, have a touchdown and have it be like a play he had to make. You know, it wasn't like he was wide open. He had to break open and go get open. It was a good thing.
How did you guys kind of figure out how you're going to use those backs? Do you and Glenn talk before the game, or is that kind of, do you go with the hot hand during the game? How do you kind of figure manage
I think
that?
those decisions are made on like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? And then in terms of the rotation, we kind of make them, you know, we had a lot of discussions just as the heat, you know, became more apparent, right? So as it was more apparent that it was going to be hot, we were going to play them and say, hey, this guy, this could be this guy this series, this guy this series. So, you know, those things are kind of always fluid. All right, thanks, guys.
NFL Draft Bible on location.